and like I could just see like the red spots just coming up in the mirror, and that's when I knew I was like, okay, I need to really like slow down.
Two principles: recognize your triggers and know your limits. So this is what Claire is sharing, that if you recognize your triggers and you know your limits, you can more or less manage your eczema. I have Claire with me and she's open to sharing a little. How long have you come on and off to see me for?
I think the first time was in 2018 when I had TSW, so it's been like 7 years.
7 years already,
Yeah.
So this interview is basically to share a little to those people encountering TSW right now. So one of the questions I get asked is, how long will it take for me to recover when I start treatment at the clinic?
Ooh. There's no definite answer for this because I think everyone has their own healing journey. Healing is never linear. Yeah, something I talked to Mark about as well, because it's not just physical, but sometimes it's also emotional, psychological. So there's a lot of factors involved, and there's no fixed timeline, but there is always hope, I guess.
She's here because she had some stress at work recently and she's flaring. And she's sharing with me that actually she knows very specifically after all these 7 years what her triggers are. I'm gonna ask her to share a little about it.
For me, my triggers are, number one is the heat and humidity in Singapore. So like when it gets super hot, I sweat and then I get itchy and then I scratch and then it starts a whole cycle. The other type of thing that makes me flare is really like psychomatic, like whether it's stress, anxiety, like emotions, like these add up, and then yeah, it just raises like my cortisol levels and just makes me flare.
Do you mind sharing, because just now you're saying a little about what tells you better seek treatment or calm down or slow down your work? That one is kind of important for a lot of people actually.
Oh, like how I figure out when my like limit. I think I can feel it physically because I start to get a little bit more sensitive. I start to itch more. Subconsciously maybe start scratching my usual spots, and I think for this round I had some like literal like anxiety attacks. Like, I could really feel the anxiety like coursing through my fingers. I remember like I was going for Pilates and like I could just see like the red spots just coming up in the mirror, and that's when I knew I was like, okay, I need to really like slow down, like listen to my body. Yeah.
That Claire's story has provided valuable insights for those living with eczema. To recap, it's very important to recognize your unique triggers and also understand that your body has limits and when you will reach those limits. In a way, at some point, you understand when you're about to flare and how you can actually mitigate the situation. And that's what Claire was sharing. I hope you found this video educational, and if it is, please watch this video on how my patient preps her food 1 week in advance and all the food is trigger-free.